To begin working on your strategy, you need to be aware of who your business is to the core. Things like the business story, its journey, and the brand guide should be at the tip of your fingers. You want to know the problems the business is addressing in the market, the company culture, the founders, the employees, as well as the stakeholders. If you have somebody else creating your content, you should provide them with this context. The information has to always be accessible to them to make their job easier. So this is a lot of information, and yet it has to be on file somewhere, and sometimes even on your website. Here is a good starting point. It is called the value proposition. It answers who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and even how you do it in a single sentence. You can fill in this sentence to come up with your value proposition. We are a blank that does or helps blank to blank by blank. As Chasing Growth, our value proposition is we are a digital media company that creates digital media for small to medium companies to help them achieve their business goals through online tools. To take it a step further, you will outline your business goals. What are you trying to achieve with your business at the present moment? Are you trying to get more customers or get the brand out there? Is it to increase your sales? Are you trying out a new product on the market? Or are you trying out a new market? Are you opening new outlets? Whatever that is, it should help you define the strategy you will put in place and the team you need to carry that strategy in place. Next, do the research. Find out what your landscape is, your competing business, what they're doing, how they do it, and who they are targeting the most. Your competitor analysis will likely help you refine your value proposition and messaging as you see the gaps that are left and if your niche can cover them. You want to create a business that will bring value, and something that is valuable is something that nobody else or very few people are doing or very few people are doing well. Then you will need to do your customer persona. This is an in-depth profile on each of your individual customers where you give them the problems you're solving as a paying customer with a name and a story. You will deduce their income levels, their religious beliefs, their domestic situations, their marital status, their education and profession, lifestyle, and so forth. Having done each of these, it will be easy to see where your customers are, what your competition is doing, and what your customers are saying about your competition, all of which is information you will likely need as you go forward in your strategy. This is how you will find things like your keywords, to know which keywords to include in your posts. This is how you will know whether or not to be on Facebook or on Instagram and where you need to invest the most in your ads. Do you need to focus more on YouTube or you need to focus more on Google Ads? You can then determine which channels you use, the language that your customers use to describe their problem or search for their problem. This will make coming up with a social campaign and content strategy a whole lot easier. It is very pivotal to begin with coming up with a sound strategy. This is something that usually involves the head of social in a social media team. In an agency, or within the marketing team, or by management in an enterprise or company setup. Thereafter, the next stop is defining your team members, their roles, and your information process. Long gone are the days where social media was done by a single person. You have more people involved now to make the waterworks happen. How a team is structured is dependent on various factors. The size of the company, the type of the company, your business goals, what the social strategy is, what the overall marketing strategy is as well as the budget available. Having said that, knowing the above will help you decide whether or not to hire someone full-time or to get a freelancer to rob in on certain aspects of the process, and even a social media agency. To highlight some of the roles you expect to find in a typical social media teams, you can divide them between the administrative and creative roles. Your administrative roles may include the head of social, who is also present in the creative team depending on the circumstances, your human resources, the legal department, product development, salesperson, brand manager, influencer manager, community manager, and analyst. As you go onto the creative side of things, there is the head of social, who, in the absence of the content creator, can do both. The content creator and curator, an advertiser, graphic designer, or video editor. For most startups, because everybody does everything as they start up, they will have a social media manager that also executes, or content creators who do blog posting, and email writing. The most important qualities to have are organizational skills, time management, teamwork, and flexibility. So when you're putting together a team, have that in mind. Before we talk about your strategy, let's consider the steps you take in your social media marketing and management, beginning with the strategy, then organization, the plan, the live action, the reporting, and lastly, the beginning of a new cycle. I think it is very pivotal to begin with coming up with a sound strategy. This is something that usually involves the head of social in a social media team, in an agency, or within the marketing team, or by management in an enterprise or company setup. To begin with the strategy, you need to be aware of